Oh, yeah. And hey, now, y'all, on a happy Monday morning, day after Super Bowl Sunday, always kind of a lethargic day in the United States of America. Everyone's kind of limping back to their real lives and their jobs and their
Should be a holiday,
responsibilities.
Paulie. Should be a national holiday.
Stop right there. Stop right there, Creative Tony. I'll stop you dead in your tracks because years ago, probably around 2011, 2012, something like that, NFL Films came into the KBR studios and they shot Murph and I doing a bunch of top 10s.
Nice.
And when I forget like what the topic was, maybe greatest Super Bowls of all time, I looked directly into the camera. I swear to God, and they use this on the NFL Network. You might have seen it. I looked directly into the camera and I asked Barack Obama to consider making the Monday after the Super Bowl a national holiday. I said, hey, do us all a favor. And they used it. They put that on. They didn't take that out. They used it on the show. So, Tony, I've tried. I've made a presidential plea, even though it was Barack Obama. This is going back 10, 12 years, whatever it was. But it didn't work. I tried. It should be a national holiday because we're all kind of a little woozy, foggy in the brain today. Creative Tony, just by the looks of you, I think I've accurately described your condition.
Yeah, it was a festive evening. I mean, the game was such an ass kicking that I stopped paying attention in the third quarter, which a lovely. I mean, of course, I went and dove back in.
Yeah,
but I was having a great conversation at this party I was at, and I was like, wait a second, the game is such an ass kicking that I'm not even like locked in, right?
See,
whereas the first half, I was totally locked in, and then when I'm like, oh, this is an ass kicking.
I was locked in the entire way. I was locked in every snap of the game. I truly loved everything I saw yesterday. And we're going to delve into that. We're going to go deep into the Super Bowl today.
Yeah.
We're lining up special guests for you this week. And a quick greeting, Marcel, Don Peralta, G-Man Music, John Joseph, Naomi, Rags. I see you out there. Thanks for lining up today, guys.
Yeah.
And before we delve, Tony, because we're going to delve today. That's right. I want to talk Longbridge Pizza before anybody goes anywhere. Before I tell you about the Led Zeppelin documentary, which I saw, and I could go back today and see it again. That's how good it was. The Longbridge Pizza is the place you want to be. I hope you got your Super Bowl orders in. 2347 3rd Street, San Francisco, right up the block from Chase Center. If you are heading down to any Chase events this weekend for All-Star Sunday, or not All-Star Sunday, All-Star Weekend, I should say, you definitely want to go ahead and stop by Longbridge. Say what's up to Neil Denardi. Enjoy the laid-back vibe, the serious pizza. Grab yourself a Nico. Grab yourself a Vinny's Gabagool sandwich. Grab yourself a chicken parm a sandwich as well. Or do like Tony and grab the square pizza. Tony's partial to the squares, but it's a great experience, and it's great pizza, great playlist. You're going to get great music if you sit down and eat inside the building. And then, of course, you're getting that South San Francisco kind of courtesy and consideration that Neil brings to the table. He's a real good South SF boy, and he kind of treats his customers as such. Creative Tony, I'll see you at Longbridge sooner than later.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Their 11th anniversary tomorrow. Celebrating 11 years, Longbridge Pizza. They're going to be tapping a keg of Pliny the Younger. Also, follow Longbridge Pizza on Instagram. They're starting to put out some really cool videos, some really good content. And I love like foodie videos, and they're doing some great foodie videos of their tomorrow they're doing smash burgers, by the way, also. So Tuesdays are smash burgers. Go by. Give them a high five or a hug. Wish them a happy 11th anniversary. Have a sip of some Pliny the Younger, which is hard to find. It's hard to get. I think there's only a certain number of kegs that Russian River Brewing hands out to bars and restaurants. So, but also, dude, I was looking at the pizzas real quick, Paulie.
Yeah.
The loading dock. Tomato sauce, mozzarella, sopressata, sausage, mushroom, garlic, thyme, and Parmesan, dude.
Ooh, that's the name of the pie, the loading dock?
The loading dock.
Okay, dude. Damn, I haven't tried that one yet. I need a slice or two of loading dock pizza. I really do.
Nice. And a Love Supreme. Try out the Love Supreme. And how about the name, right?
Well, shout out John Coltrane. Yeah, shout out John Coltrane. I was listening to John Coltrane yesterday. Name of the album? Yeah, True Believer. Check it out on your own time. Hey, Creative Tony, delving into all things Super Bowl right now. If you could you put Naomi's text up real quick about the DeYoung Museum, if you can find that one?
Sure,
because it kind of encapsulates everything that I felt yesterday, too. Naomi speaking on behalf of the particle community. Here she is, Naomi Catalina, one of our great listeners. She goes, after I got back from DeYoung Museum, great maneuver, by the way, on a Super Bowl Sunday, I got several texts to turn on the Super Bowl since the Chiefs were losing. Turned it on in time to see the Mahomes bitch slap with capital letters, Naomi. Very nice. The MBS. It was beautiful. Naomi, it was beautiful. That's how I felt about it. And thanks for your thoughts. Tony, just broad strokes, and we'll delve into the particulars. Like, It was everything I could have hoped for.
Yes.
And it was kind of everything I wished I could have seen from the Niners last year, to be totally honest with you. Like the defense, even though Jalen Hurts won the MVP, and I'm happy for him, I do like Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
I know a lot of people hate the Eagles, but I think he's a champion. I really do. I followed him in college. I followed his pro career. I like his demeanor. I like the way he carries himself. He's all business. And this might not be his last. Jalen Hurts, he might be back again.
Eagles looks damn good, man, and you got to give props. Hey, there were Niner particles sprinkled in because Vic Fangio owned the Chiefs offense, owned it, owned it. 2 picks. Mahomes, we can talk about it later, but he's kind of a turnover machine in the Super Bowls, dude.
Well, you want to count all 7 of them at this point. He's thrown 7 interceptions in his 5 Super Bowls,
dude, and 6 fumbles. And 6 fumbles.
That's right. So you tally those up for 13 turnovers. Now, it's stuff like that, Tony, that would drive me crazy when people are ushering this kid to the top of the mountain as far as the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. I thought it was crazy to talk that way. Yes, he's a good quarterback. Yes, he's got a few Super Bowls, but he's certainly not the best we've ever seen. When you look at somebody like Tom Brady's resume, or even Joe Montana with a perfect 4-0 in Super Bowls.
Joe Cool.
0 interceptions. You understand what I'm saying to you? 0 interceptions from Joe Montana.
0 fumbles too. 4 games, 4 Super Bowls, 11 TDs, 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles.
Hey, it was real. Remember that there was a David Bowie movie in the 70s called The Man That Fell to Earth. It was about he was like some alien that came down from space, which David Bowie might have been in real life anyway. Shout out David Bowie, the thin white dude, rest in peace. But he falls down to earth. That's kind of like Patrick Mahomes yesterday, the Muppet that fell to earth. Like it was a real crash landing of reality for him yesterday.
Also, Paulie, I was also relieved to see the refs let them play, except for the 4th and 3 offensive PI called on AJ Brown, very reminiscent of the Kittle offensive PI in the Super Bowl. I was so pissed off when that happened. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. Already.
Opening drive. Yeah.
4th and 3. A huge shift of events on that call.
Yeah.
And instead of the Eagles having the ball on like the Chiefs 30 and driving, and like also a demoralizing giving up a 4th and 3 play like that would have been tough for the Chiefs to bounce back from on that drive. Yeah. And then of course here they come. Here comes Torbert, official Torbert, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Paulie and I texting each other like, here we go. Yeah. And then I'm glad to see the refs let them play the rest of the game.
Yeah, me too. I thought the refs did a pretty good job after that opening sequence you mentioned. There was a bad call on Philly. There was a bad call on KC. And then the refs kind of holstered those flags. The flags they did throw for the rest of the game, I thought were pretty legit. There was a couple there was an offsides, I think, that was missed, that or a false start that they botched. But aside from that, I thought it was a pretty clean game with the refs. And I got to say this, for Patrick Mahomes, I thought that his post game was everything I could have hoped to have seen. He stood there and faced the music. Yep. He kind of critiqued his own performance as trash. He took accountability. He answered every question that was asked of him. So I did like the way Mahomes handled himself in the post game.
Agreed.
But you could see, like, it's all, even though Jalen Hurts was the MVP of that game, Tony, I would give like a game ball most valuable player performance to the Philly defensive front. Those guys, they were spectacular. They were spectacular. They didn't even need to blitz. They didn't blitz. It was just those 4 horses just getting in Mahomes' face all day long. And it's like, that's the recipe. That's what the Bucs did when they beat the Chiefs a few years back with Brady. And it's the exact same recipe we saw yesterday, Tony.
Dude, and the defensive backfield tue, man. They were all over the place too.
Spectacular.
That kid out of Iowa DeJean, man. I mean, that kid, what a play. I mean, a huge play. By the way, in bookmarks later, I want to show you, I came across, I guess he was a high school phenom in basketball too, and their video popped up of him just being a high school phenom. I was like, I got to show that in bookmarks later.
Hey Tony, if you could, I'm gonna actually kind of telegraph my punches here, but if you could get the Keith Richards laugh track ready, I'd like you to punctuate my next statement with a Richards laugh. You're talking about how well Philly played. You got it ready? They talking about how well they played yesterday and how great Philly was. I'll tell you this much. Imagine how much better Philly will be next year once they have Deebo Samuel as a wide receiver. That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. By the way, I wore my Godfather shirt today, Tony. El Padrino. And you want to know why? It's because Mahomes sleeps with the fishes.
Yes.
suspicious. Can we cut the shit now on greatest of all time? Can
Stop it. Just stop it.
Out? Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Are we
stop
good?
it.
Can we stop?
It has to stop. It has to stop.
The madness has to stop. Tony, speak
right.
to it. Yeah.
Right. Going back to the Montana stats that we were talking about, and Brady too. Like they're leaps and bounds better. Mahomes is a damn good quarterback. I'm not going to say that he's not.
Certainly.
But the Eagles did a great job containing him yesterday too. He didn't scamper a lot. Yeah. And also I got to give the Chiefs credit too. They did a good job on Saquon Barkley. But then they said if the Eagles are going to beat us, we're going to let Hurts beat us, and Hurts beat him. He dropped that dime to Devontae Smith
great
in the
throw.
Back of the end zone. What
great
a
throw!
Because that was good D. The DB was blanketing him. He was on him, but that was a dime.
So final score 40-22, but Tony, the game really wasn't really that close. I mean, they were down. I think they were down 34-0 at one point. I mean, it was an all-out ass kicking, and I enjoyed it because Mahomes has been so protected, it seems, by the league, and they've gotten a lot of favorable treatment, a lot of favorable calls. I've mentioned this before. This is a number you really can't dispute. 17 times in Mahomes' career, he's had an interception come back on a penalty call. Correct. 17 times. Yesterday, there was no such protection. And again, the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles, they won that game for Philly. And by the way, the victory parade is set now in Philly. They're going to have their parade on Valentine's Day.
Nice.
There'll never be so many people vomiting in the streets of Philly on Valentine's Day as there will be this year in 2025. But
hey, Paulie, at halftime, Mahomes 6 of 14 for 33 yards.
Okay, no, say it again.
6 of 14 for 33 yards at halftime. Well, that is just a shutdown. That is a shutdown.
There's so many numbers we can get into. First of all, Mahomes sacked 6 times yesterday. Kansas City Chief offense, Tony, 1 first down in the first half. 1. They didn't even cross midfield in the first half. They didn't even cross. It was total domination from Philly. I got to be honest, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the one-sided ass kicking. Did you?
The party where I was, everybody was stunned, including myself. Nobody saw that coming. It was, I mean, dude, when they got up 17-0 and then 24, I'm like, this is outrageous. I can't believe that this is happening. Yeah. And then, but people were like, hey, this is far from over. And I agreed with them at the time.
Me too. Me too.
And it's just like, holy, I mean, just a complete and total ass kicking. I mean, Andy Reid, there were shots of him on the sideline where he looked
like he aged like 25 years from the start of that game until the end. I saw him trying to get into his golf cart after the game so they could drive him away. Dude, he was like laboring just to get in there. What were you going to say about Reid? He looked very decrepit.
The look on his face, he looked just like totally befuddled and like totally at a loss and didn't know what to really do.
You know what? Good. Fumble Rooski that, you old man. Hey, by the way, the Chiefs were down, Tony, 24-0 at the half. Like the whole thing was like a dream. I'm like, is this really happening? Now, again, I realize there's a lot. I just saw my buddy Winks checking in. Chiefs played like the Giants yesterday. There you go, Winks. That a boy. And by the way, Winks is probably the only resident Giant fan on the comment line. Can you imagine, bro, how guys like Winks feel right now, being a Giants fan, knowing that was my running back at one time? Saquon, that guy that was galloping all over the NFL this year, that guy used to be on my team. We just let him skate. And by the way, what did the Giants get for him? Anything? Like, I don't know. I think they won. Giants won 3 games last year. That's got to be brutal. It was utter domination. Mahomes throws 2 picks. One of them is a pick 6. And again, Tony, we can go through every intricate detail and route and play call of this game, and that's fine. I'm happy to do that. But to me, sometimes it's really simple. And this was a game you could simplify. And I've said it twice. So here comes a third time. I'll probably say it a dozen times today.
Say it as many times as you want.
Defensive line made life miserable. They couldn't handle them. The Chiefs O-line could not handle what those 4 guys did. They were running stunts. They were rolling off of blocks. It was fantastic. And, watching Mahomes get, as Naomi said, the bitch slap at the end of the game, that was the play I think all of America had been waiting for. So I want to thank Philly for delivering that. It was so satisfying on every level to see the Chiefs get manhandled. Here's more stats. You want numbers, Tony? I'll give you some more numbers.
I got a number for you too.
All right,
go ahead.
Let me give you one. Let me give you one more. Yeah. This guy that everybody's calling the greatest of all time, the GOAT, Patrick Mahomes. He is now one of only 2 quarterbacks in NFL history to lose multiple Super Bowls by more than 18 points.
Yeah.
The other guy is John Elway, because the Niners
Oh,
his ass all over the schoolyard, that 55-10 game, and the Giants with Phil Simms kicked his ass as well. But how about that? That's the
Hey.
GOAT of all time. He's one of only 2 quarterbacks to lose Super Bowls, 2 of them by more than 18 points. Tony, go ahead.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I'm not bullshitting anybody. That's the honest to God truth, Tony. But you hear numbers like that.
Well, we talked about a great game plan to beat the Chiefs and Mahomes is to keep Mahomes off the field. And the time of possession was lopsided the entire game. And it ended up 36-58 for the Eagles and 23-02 for the Chiefs. That's domination.
Domination.
That's keeping a very potent offense off the field. And dude, did you see Travis Kelce after the game?
I loved it. Oh, well, actually, no, Tony, no. After the game, I did not see him. I saw him sitting on the bench looking totally forlorn and
dejected.
all that.
Total dejection.
Good.
And
good.
Like Mahomes, he handled it, but he handled it well.
Yeah.
But it was like he's putting on this like sequenced like brown suit or something.
Have a good time. Have a good time, player.
I'm sure he planned to like bum rush the stage with this thing on or something, or that post game with it on. Anyways, I was just.
Go ahead.
I think I texted you saying I shouldn't be enjoying their dejection as much as I am, but I really am enjoying it, you know?
I say enjoy every second of it. I mean, it might not happen again. Now, do you automatically think, I mean, Mahomes, I think I saw a tweet he sent out last night where he was like, sorry. And by the way, can we stop with this Chiefs kingdom shit? I'm so sick of that.
And no dynasty, no three-peat. They didn't tie the Niners, none of that stuff. Stop it all. Stop it all.
Well, he said after the game, he said, hey, Chiefs kingdom, bro. He goes, we'll be back. We'll be back. Do you believe they'll automatically be back? I'm not so sure.
No,
There's no guarantees.
Dude, Mahomes all season long did not have a good season.
The whole team. Dude, Tony, they barely won week after week after week. Barely won games.
Right. And their defense is the reason they got to the Super Bowl, not their offense, dude. Yeah. And I feel like Mahomes, I'm a fantasy football guy, Paulie, and quarterbacks go later in the draft in every league I've ever been in. And I was having a conversation with a buddy. We're like, dude, Mahomes is going to be out of the top 10 probably in quarterbacks drafted next year in fantasy football because of the year he had this year. Yeah. And then and when all bets are on the line, he stunk yesterday. He flat out stunk. He owned it. He took responsibility for it. I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But he stunk, man. That second pick he threw.
Oh, it's fantastic, wasn't it? It was fantastic. It was so ugly. It was great.
So he should have had a third pick earlier in the game too. He threw one up for grabs, and the Eagles should have picked it too.
Yeah. That's on the sideline. The one on the sideline.
Oh, and hey, referees, feel free to call a late hit in the sidelines on Devontae Smith in the first drive of the game. Feel free next time, because if that's Mahomes or if that's Kelce or if that's DeAndre Hopkins, that's a late hit. That's a late hit out of bounds.
I just want to say, Tony, like when Patrick Mahomes says we'll be back, I'm sure he believes that in his heart and soul, and maybe they will. But you know who else will be back? Joe Burrow, for example, who might have been the hottest quarterback in the NFL going down the stretch. He was throwing 3 touchdowns a week every week, and they were losing games. The Bengals finally so Joe Burrow will be back. Josh Allen's going to be back. Justin Herbert with 1 year of Harbaugh under his belt, they're going to be back. I'm telling you, Lamar Jackson, didn't mention him. There's a lot of competition in the AFC. There's no guarantees the Chiefs will even have home field in the playoffs next year. How good will the Chiefs be if they have to go on the road in the playoffs? They haven't normally had to do that. So you get them out of their comfort zone, which I think is an entirely possible scenario next year. So I'm just saying, Tony, I am not of the belief that the Chiefs automatically return to even the AFC Championship. I'm not going to say that I automatically usher them right back to that spot.
No, not even. And we talked about Super Bowl hangovers like the Niners had this year. I think the Chiefs have a massive Super Bowl hangover next year. Who knows what's going to happen? And where was Isaiah Pacheco in the first half?
Nowhere. He was non-existent. They tried to run him a couple times. He was hitting a brick wall, and then they had to abandon the run game. They were down so big they had to throw. But I'm telling you, watch the tape of this game. Like Mahomes takes a snap, he takes one step back. There's somebody in his face. That's how fast it was coming. He had no time to look down the field. He was running for his life. And I enjoy. What do you got? What?
You just made me think about some funny songs like "Run for Your Life." run to the hills, dude. Like Mahomes was running to the hills, dude. Like I loved watching, and I saw this tweet, by the way. Oh, Mahomes might have suffered a head injury on one of his scampers in the first quarter or something. It's like, I don't, and that's why he played so horribly.
Oh, come on,
no,
cut the S. Cut the S. I haven't heard that yet. I don't want to hear that. Yeah,
that's
please.
not why. He just was the defense, Vic Fangio's defense, and there's the Niner particles right there. Vic Fangio's defense shut down. And dude, by the way, Spagnuolo was exposed a little bit too. Because
I'm so glad. Enough of him too, dude. I was happy to see him on the sideline, frustrated for a change. You know what? That's your medicine.
Befuddled. He looked totally befuddled. And it's because the Eagles had a great game plan of expecting the blitz. Tony, I still don't know why Buffalo. It still pisses me off that Buffalo didn't know the blitz was coming on that last play of the game. Remember that last play of the game?
I do. And I still can't figure out why when the Bills were in a goal-to-go situation, they ran Josh Allen to his left, the most predictable play that Buffalo runs. Allen going to his left, they stuffed him. So yeah, there are a lot of lessons to be learned here. And if anything, Tony, as a 49er fan, I'm like envious of what I saw yesterday. I really am.
No question.
Dude, borderline jealous.
I'm
like, God, we couldn't get Nicky Bosa through there. Like, and granted, Bosa's held on every snap. I don't know. The refs seem to have pocketed the flags yesterday. But there, again, you can't dispute what we saw. And it was all defensive line. Just
that play, Paulie? That play, Paulie, that people were kind of up in arms on about the blow to the head of Mahomes after Mahomes fumbled? Remember
which play is this?
They were down like 34-0 at the time. It didn't matter. It didn't have a say in the outcome of the game. But when that happened, I think it was Jalen Carter that hit him in the blow to the head, blow to the helmet.
Loved it.
But he was being literally like held with like a come on, what am I? Not a headlock, but like a
what, a full Nelson, Tony? I don't know.
Basically like a wrestling move. He was being held while that happened. Yeah, and I'm just like the clothesline. He's like basically being clotheslined is what I was trying to think of. And it wasn't called. So it's like sure. I just like that the refs let them play, right? Yeah. Who knows what happens in that Niners Super Bowl if the refs let them play the way they did yesterday? I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy.
The only thing I think, Tony, I got to reveal all my dark secrets now.
Come on.
Excuse me. And that's why we're here. That's what we're going to continue to do. I'm not holding anything back. So I thought yesterday, here's what I told myself. All right, Tony, like as a Niner fan, like I got to have like these internal like conversations with myself to psych myself into different scenarios. So I was like, okay, if the Chiefs win, at least I can say, this is how pathetic I am, dude. I was like, if the Chiefs win today, at least I can tell myself, hey, they beat the Niners twice in the Super Bowl, but they also beat the Eagles twice in the Super Bowl. Now I can't even say that, dude.
Right.
Now I can't say that because Philly saw them twice and Philly got them once. Niners seen them twice. They've gotten the Niners twice. Really, really burns me. And I'm telling you, when I look at last year's Super Bowl as a Niner fan, I still feel like the 49ers had the better team on both sides of the ball. They just can't figure out the code that we all saw yesterday. Now, as the NFL is clearly a copycat league, do you think that the NFL now, and I mean, and league-wide, do you think that the league looks at yesterday as the blueprint? It's like it's like the treasure map that has all the answers with the key or the code to the lock or whatever. Do you think they use that as a blueprint? This is how you beat the Kansas City Chiefs going forward?
It's how you beat the Chiefs. It's how you beat a mobile quarterback too, correct? Like it's how you keep him sustained in the pocket. If you can do that for a against a Lamar Jackson, against Patrick Mahomes, then you are relying on only his arm, and that takes away half of his game. Mahomes did not run much.
He had nowhere to go.
Right.
That's the thing. Like you said, they collapsed the pocket on the edges. So even when he tried to run, he really had nowhere to go.
Yes, dude. He was like Pink Floyd, run like hell. He was running like hell because they were on his ass all game long. I loved every second.
Are you cool if I chuck a Bryan Adams on top of that and say run to you?
Dude.
I'm gonna run to you. I'm a fan.
I'm gonna feel your touch. I'm gonna run to you.
What's wrong with that? That's what I'm talking about. I need to feel your touch, Tony.
I need to
feel your touch. I want to run to you. Yeah. Creative Tony, hey, on the just the presentation of the game, all the bells and whistles. We got to talk halftime show. By the way, I got to give you my Led Zeppelin review too.
Yes.
And Steph Curry, the Butler. There's a lot going on here, dude.
The Butler game on Saturday night was outrageous.
No, I know.
In the top three, in Tony's top three, we'll get to.
Thank you, brother. No, thank you. And by the way, looking ahead to to tomorrow. One of our great friends of all time. Let me just confirm this before I announce this. Hold on, because he just texted me, and I had to screw up with the times. I'm a little.
You'll get it. We're good.
Got him.
Winks,
Okay, so
Winks,
tomorrow.
Yes, Mahomes ran backwards. Exactly. Yes, Winks.
That's right, Winks.
Yes,
hey, I can announce this now. For the first time on Polymac Particles, our good friend Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post will join us. And Mark and I go way back. He is he's one of the greats. He's one of the great sports writers on the East Coast. He covers the Jets. He covers golf. He's been all over the world. He's golfed at St. Andrews and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he joins us tomorrow for the first time. Creative Tony, what's your history with Mark Cannizzaro?
Just through you guys, just through you and Murph. And I love Marky Mark, as Murph calls him. But the reason why we're having him on is he wrote a great article today in the New York Post. Check it out. Where he's basically saying Mahomes stunk.
It was
yesterday.
And I loved every word of that article. So Mark Cannizzaro joins us tomorrow. By the way,
Dude,
he's another.
Yeah, sorry, Paulie. It's X. Yes. I you might be right. It's X. You might be right. And
keep
Mahomes,
it coming. Let's celebrate this. Cheers.
Again, his season, he didn't have a good season.
No.
He had an average to below average season. And they squeaked by how many games this season? So who knows what's in store for Mahomes and the Chiefs next year? Because the word, it's kind of like how the NFL finally got wise on Deebo. Maybe the NFL gets wise on Mahomes after this game too. And we can talk Deebo later too, dude, with his whole locker room FaceTiming AJ Brown. Hey, Deebo.
Bye-bye. Hey, see you later, Deebo. Thanks. Thanks for everything.
It's no surprise, dude, that Rap Sheet decides to tweet something on Super Bowl Sunday before the game. That the Niners are going to shop him.
You know what, man? I kind of got a sour taste in my mouth with Deebo Samuel. There were some years and some seasons and some games where he kind of put the Niners on his back and carried them. But I'll tell you this much as a fan, dude. I'm very territorial. I'm very old school that way. Like, I feel like, Tony, if you don't want to be here, see you later. Go. I ain't gonna beg you to stay. You don't want to play for the night. Good. Go someplace else. Have a good time, man. Enjoy.
And dude, I'm not forgetting about the great Deebo moments that in the Niners past.
Neither am I.
But here we are in the present, Paulie. We can't look back. We can't look forward. We got to live in the present, right? Oh, nice. Cannizzaro a legend. Nice, Tom Peralta. We looking forward. I feel like Deebo's he's kind of figured out. I mean, Mayoko, when we had Matt Mayoko on last week, by the way, I highly recommend you guys going back and checking that out.
Matt is great. Yeah, Matt is awesome.
He was on I think Thursday. He was
bro.
saying that Deebo is a force, and when Deebo's playing like Deebo can, you want him on your squad. But Deebo hasn't played like those Deebo of years past.
He's kind of sleepwalking half the season this year, kind of going through the motions.
Like more prima donna stuff. He's getting in Jake Moody's face.
Hey, you know what? Wear your Eagle jersey, guy. Go nuts, brother.
Go nuts. Exactly, dude.
And I think people on the comments line clearly feel the same way. Can I get a little love on Monty, who says, bye-bye, Fatty Samuel? That's true. Because you see the gut? Have you seen the gut? 808 KMBR. I don't even work there, and I'm telling you to call him. Let's talk about Deebo's gut. I've seen it, too. G-Man. Hey, Tony, G-Man Music. Take your boombox with you, Deebo. Hey,
yes, dude.
How about my guy Rags? A Fozzie Bear must be bummed today that Kermit the Frog is officially dead. I like it, dude, Rags.
Yes, Rags.
I feel the same way. Fozzie Bear, bro. Fozzie freaking Bear.
Dude, hang on, Paulie. I want to show something real quick. Because you mentioned it, let's show it again, because I don't think people have taken the time to look at this photo enough to see that, yes, dude, he looks plump.
No, it looks plump. Look at his gut, bro. I know what a gut is. I've been trying to hide my gut for years. I know exactly what's going on right there. Hey, by the way, Tony, you got to bring up NorCal Refrigeration. He's throwing a $1.99 into our contribution tank, and we got to talk about this.
Right on,
Now, NorCal, I'm going to applaud because this is the first donation we've had on the air, and you're all free to donate to the show. By the way, we are open for business, and we'll take those donations because you want to know why? Kidding aside, I will put that shit right back into the show. What we need right now is a soundboard. And I'll tell you right now, they're not giving those things away. And Tony and I have been shopping for a soundboard. But if anybody would like to contribute, just know those funds are going right back into the show. Now, Creative Tony, can you explain the premise of these donations just so our viewers know? Because I'm not sure I understand.
Well, Paulie, the beautiful thing about the PMP community is that we're all learning this together.
True story. Thank you.
And we're all learning this YouTube visual element together. And so what Trent Hugo Free Murph, we're learning this together, and part of it on YouTube is you get to a certain place of subscribers over 1,000. I think we're at like 1,200 now or something. You get over 1,000, then you can have what's called supers, and supers are people such as NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC. Thank you, NorCal Refrigeration HVAC, where you can donate, make a, like, you can for whatever amount of money you want, you can it'll turn your comment to different color, and it will put it right up on the screen immediately, immediately, and it puts you to the top of the shelf. It's like if you were to call KNBR back in the day and pay a little extra to get to the top of the line and not have to wait on hold, basically.
Well, again, hey, look at this. Here come the money. Here come the donations. Hey, thank you, Tom. Hell
nice
yeah, real
call.
swear
Thank
jar.
you, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, Dom. But again, hey, if you guys want to contribute, believe me, the money's going to go right back into the show to make it as good as we possibly can. Now, I saw Leah Phillips, who I love dearly. Leah, we got to get together soon. We're talking margaritas, Ganja Express, the whole bit. But in the meantime, she's calling out Deebo Samuel having a dad bod, which brings me to my next question for you. In fact, get Deebo off my screen. I'm tired of looking at him. He's pissing me off wearing an Eagle. F you, Deebo. Go to Philly. Go crazy. Go to Baltimore. Go to Dallas. Go wherever you want to go. Just get out of my way. Like they said, like Michael told what's his face, Carlo in The Godfather, get out of my sight. At the end,
dude,
there's a cab waiting to take you to the airport. Get out of my sight.
On that note, real quick, Paulie, I got to give some love to my friend Josh here in San Carlos, who's a dear friend, but he's a huge Chiefs fan. And I saw him yesterday morning before the game, and I went and I gave him a hug, and he goes, "Dude, I feel like you're giving me a hug like I'm Fredo, and you're about
wait. So Tony, I'm sorry, I was trying to do 10 things at once. Who was this that gave you the hug?
My friend, I gave my friend Josh, who's a Chiefs fan, a big hug yesterday morning before the game. And he says, "Dude, I feel like I'm Fredo, and you're giving me a hug before you
grab his
face,
give him a big kiss on the lips, and shake his head. You broke my heart, Josh. You broke my heart."
Hey, let me get Patty from Napa. Look at Patty from Napa. Thank you very much, Patty from Napa. That's fantastic. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you guys
and
very
also,
much.
Patty's on Blue Sky, and we're on Blue Sky as well. Just so you know, search Polymax Particles on Blue Sky. It's the new Twitter without Elon, basically.
Tony, shout out the Allman Brothers Band. You're my blue sky. You're my sunny day.
No question.
Lord, you know it makes me high when you turn your love my way. Thank you, Dickie Betts. Rest in peace. I'm so sorry we lost the great Dickie Betts. Maybe my favorite member of the Allman Brothers Band. He was like the fire of the band, dude. Right in the middle of the stage, singing his balls off, playing his balls off. Look at Leah now coming in with the donations, Leah. You know what I'm going to put that right into the grassroots fund. You know what I'm talking about?
I have 5 on it. Yes, you got 5 on it, Leah. Yes, you got 5 on it. Thank you very much, Leah. Love you.
Creative Tony, let me take a step back because Leah Phillips put a comment up about Deebo with that Philly jersey on. By the way, when your gut sticks out more than your man breast,
your chest,
that's when you've gone too far.
Right.
So the other guy that they always say has a dad bod in a sexy way, and they say this about John Hamm, Don Draper of Mad Men. I've heard women say that before. You know, he's really sexy, like in a dad bod kind of way, which brings me to this. Did you see John Hamm introduced the Kansas City Chiefs? And on the flip side, they had Bradley Cooper holding his kid. They introduced the Eagles. I've never seen like a celebrity introduction of a Super Bowl team before, unless I missed it in the past. I don't ever remember seeing that. How did you feel about that on both sides?
NFL's king, man. They can do whatever they want. They can make up the rules. They can literally do whatever they want. But I got to say, when I saw Hamm, I'm like, what? That's lame. But then when they showed Bradley Cooper, I've always been a Cooper fan, and Cooper actually helped me root for the Eagles yesterday.
I like Cooper too. You know, bro, did you see Bradley? I don't know if this is in bookmarks. I don't want to give
one sec, B. I got it. Hang on one sec.
You know what I'm talking about with the cheesesteaks?
Yeah.
The truck?
Yep.
Is that in bookmarks?
It's
I'll
not in the
describe
bookmarks, but I can find it. Yeah, describe it. And I want to put this up too. Naomi, thank you for the PNP Army, Naomi. Thank you.
Thanks very much. We really do appreciate it. Kidding aside, thank you guys. And by the way, at some point, and a lot of people have been saying this, we got to organize some kind of get together. And it will happen. Maybe we'll do it because we can talk about it and build it up for a couple of months, but maybe we'll do it for like opening day.
At Longbridge. Let's do it at Longbridge Pizza. Right? Let's do it. Have everybody come eat the phenomenal food at Longbridge Pizza. Go sit an incredible beer at Longbridge. You know,
this is why I keep Creative Tony around for moments like that. There's a lot of times there's a lot of like static you got to sort through and you got to find the gold, but it's in there. That's a great idea, T.
Yes, and I love
freaking
that.
idea.
Thank you, Naomi, for the PMP Army. I'm going to throw Mark Graves up here too. Mark, thank you, brother. And Mark's
Thank-
been on fire in the comment line too. He was asking for some ganj, I think, from you earlier.
Well, what do you need? I got you covered. Just swing on by, man. We'll make it happen. Trust me. It's like I got just about every product on the market. Hey, Don Peralta saying Bradley Cooper makes a mean cheesesteak. He was cooking them up at Bottle Rock last year. I didn't know that, Dom. That's cool. But
I didn't know that either. Yeah.
I saw footage. This is insane. This was Saturday down in the French Quarter somewhere. Dude, Bradley Cooper comes driving up, Tony, on a freaking food truck. Okay.
Yes.
They open the back door. He just starts handing out cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
Freebies.
So great.
And like when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? Even though I hate the Eagles, it's hard to hate on that.
Exactly.
Like a celebrity fan cruising up and giving away free cheesesteaks, like that's all you could ask for.
Yeah.
And I got to be totally honest with you. I'm a massive fan of the show Mad Men. I love John Hamm as Don Draper. Yep. I didn't even know he was a Chiefs fan. I had no idea. I'm just throwing that out there. I had no idea.
One also, I forgot that Isaiah Pacheco is jersey number 10, and I'm like, is he wearing like a Trent Green jersey? Because that's who I.
Dude,
I'm like, who's 10 for the Chiefs?
That's maybe your best call of the duration of the show so far. I wish it was a Trent Green jersey. Shout out IU football. Let's not forget, dude, one of our good friends, Alex Smith, QB'd there too when he left San Francisco. He brought him into the playoffs. They had a couple of epic collapses. I remember there was one game where Alex Smith was quarterback in the Chiefs, and they had a monster lead over the Indianapolis Colts in the playoffs, and then they wound up losing. Remember that game, T?
I do.
Yeah.
I love Alex Smith. I love that he's back. I love that he lives down in Menlo Park, and we'll
try to get him. We'll try to get Alex Smith at some point because he's a great guy. Really
very good. His takes are very good. He's very good. Oh, Dub City, man. Thank you. Look at Dub City. This
Hey, this is great iced tea, isn't it, though? Isn't it, Dub City? It is great iced tea. Almost as good as, the purple sock a couple of moments later.
Well, yeah. And by the way, he never drinks the iced tea.
Nah, he's too nervous. He's trying to be cool, but he's nervous. And by the way, dude, shout out to his getup, windbreaker, no shirt, bathing suit. You got me? Windbreaker, no shirt, bathing suit,
and the bathing suit's riding pretty high too. They're not like board shorts. They're not board shorts.
Well, dude, back in the day, people don't understand that. I try to tell my kids this. They've seen pictures of me wearing shorts. They're like, "Dad, you're wearing Daisy Dukes." I'm like, "You guys don't get it. That's all they had in the store back then." When I was a kid, there was no shorts to the knee did not exist before the Fab Five of Michigan. There was no such thing. And any of my friends online here, Rags can attest, Winks, we all wore the dude. You remember you buy those Adidas shorts, like gym shorts, dude? They were tiny. They're like a Speedo. Yeah,
they were snug. They were very snug.
Dude. And again, I didn't design them, but that's all they had in the stores. I'm trying to tell you, Tony. We've debated long enough. I know we got bookmarks and top 3 coming up. Halftime show.
Patty from Napa, thank you again. She gave another contribution. Thank you, Patty. She wants to help organize the event when we hang.
Patty, I'm saying this sincerely from the heart. Like, there's so many cool people that we see every day, and like Tony said, I do consider this a community. This is like the earliest stages of where hopefully this show is going to go in time. And I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I would like to have a get together. Tony's call about Longbridge before opening day of the Giants. That's a great, great call, Tony.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more seriously about that as it gets closer.
The Vibe Tribe. Yes. It's Neil, we got to give Neil Dinaldi all the credit. Neil Dinardi all the credit at Longbridge Pizza for the Vibe Tribe. We're all about it. Darren Reyes, look at this, dude.
Thank you, brother.
Darren, thank you very much, Darren. This is you guys are rocking.
Well, you know, it's funny because it's kind of been like this unspoken thing, because Tony told me last week, he goes, "Hey, I think we just crossed some threshold with YouTube where we can start accepting donations now." But I didn't really understand how it works, and I'm not sure I even understand right now. Lily, thank you. Patty, thank you.
Lily, thank you very much, Lily. You guys are too kind. Really, this is. But hey, again, the old adage, it takes a village. I find myself saying that all the time nowadays, especially if you have kids. Like, it takes a village. Well, I'm running all over the freaking Bay Area from game to game. It seems like on the weekends.
I've been there.
Remember those days, Patty from Napa? You're on fire. This is how I ended up with the Perry car.
Steve Perry.
Yeah.
So let me explain that to the audience. A lot of people might not know what she's talking about. So when Murph and Mac, we had a I forgot how this even happened, but we somehow struck up a friendship with Steve Perry of Journey during the Giants' first World Series run in 2010. We had him on the show, which, by the way, is incredible because Steve Perry does not do interviews. He just doesn't do them. He's very quiet. He's almost a recluse at this point. He's not really involved in the music industry. And he's the lead singer of Journey, by the way, if you're wondering who Steve Perry is. Sang on Escape, Don't Stop Believing, Separate Ways, all the classic Journey stuff. And we got into it with Steve Perry. We wound up having him on the show a few times. And it got to the point where he was like, I want to donate my Mercedes-Benz to, was it the Giants Community Fund? Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah,
so
I think so.
He donated the car and we put it up for auction, and Patty won the freaking car. She bid and she won it. So Patty now owns and drives Steve Perry from Journey's Mercedes-Benz, and she's such a sweetheart. She's invited us up many times to go drive the car. You know what, Patty? I just want to sit in the damn thing.
I want to go for a ride with you, Paulie. I want to sit shotgun while you drive that thing. I mean,
Steve Perry said on our show, Tony, that he was composing the song "Who's Crying Now" while he was driving in that Mercedes. He said that's
out of here.
Wow. Which is a great track, by the way.
That's a great track.
One Love feeds the fire. One Heart burns desire. Tony, wonder who's crying now. And
I know who's crying now. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, there's your segue.
This is Tony's coming to life, kids. Tony's coming to life.
Did you notice they were both like holding back tears on the sideline?
Good.
You can tell. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
I love the look on Mahomes' face. He looked so shell shocked. He didn't know what hit him. He was like the Walking Dead out there looking around. I was like, I love this so freaking much.
And Paulie, could you imagine, by the way, Lily, I'm putting Lily up there for a couple minutes because Lily, thank you very much for the donation. It's so kind of you. We love you. Thank you so much. But could you imagine if the script was flipped and it was an ass kicking by the Chiefs, what we'd be dealing with today? The dynasty, the best ever, the GOAT. Could you imagine what we'd be dealing with today? It would be relentless. And Johnny Red, I got to put you up on the screen. Thank you, Johnny Red. You rule.
All you guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Can I shout somebody out real quick too, Tony?
Yeah, of course you can.
Can I shout? Where did he go? God, this thing is flying today. Yeah. G-Man Music checked in on the comments line just a moment or two ago. Yeah, he's already gone. He scrolled past me. But he said, guys, give me some Chain Reaction. Let me tell you something about Chain Reaction, okay, G-Man Music? When I saw Journey on the Frontiers tour, first of all, how about this for a bill, Tony? 1983, Meadowlands Arena in New Jersey. Journey with Bryan Adams opening, and Bryan Adams was opening on the Cuts Like a Knife album. So I love that record. And by the way, G-Man Music, Journey opened their show with Chain Reaction.
That's beautiful. And by the way, Paulie, just since you're talking music, you mentioned the halftime show. I feel like we should talk about it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Kendrick Lamar, who I have a lot of respect for. I'll tell you my thoughts in a sec, but Tony, the floor is yours. How did you feel about the halftime show? I know the kids probably loved it.
I was going to say, it was like a generational thing because all the kids were huddled around the big TV watching, really enthusiastic. My daughter's former dance teacher was one of the dancers, and all of her little friends were going crazy whenever he showed up on the screen. And so that was cool in that. But I don't know. I appreciate the choreography, and I appreciate the work that goes into it. And I got nothing against Kendrick Lamar. I think he's talented. I do.
Yeah.
I want to see some musicians, like seeing Trombone Shorty.
That was cool.
The game.
Yeah.
Play America the Beautiful was one of my favorite moments. And then seeing John Batiste do the national anthem. I loved both.
Yeah.
I loved both. But that's because it's actually like somebody playing an instrument. God forbid.
No, there wasn't an instrument in sight. There wasn't an instrument in sight.
And it's like, okay, fine. How about Kendrick Lamar and then a band? So there's like actual musicianship.
That's not a bad call
on the stage. So you kind of have more than just Kendrick Lamar for what seemed like a half an hour. I said to my buddy, I'm like, if I'm in the locker room right now, I'm pissed that the halftime is still going on. I mean, that seemed like really long, dude. And he's wearing the A necklace for A minor, which is a shout out or a rip on Drake. And, it's like there's all this unspoken stuff too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I fine, bring Kendrick Lamar, but give me Sturgill Simpson. I've been asking for Sturgill Simpson. Can we have Sturgill on stage with
Probably
Kendrick?
not. No, probably you probably won't. I always wonder why the Police never played it. I thought the Police would translate to like every kind of genre, but they never did. Like Sting has been up there as a special guest and stuff like that. The Chili Peppers, I remember one year were a special guest, I think, to Bruno Mars. Like your idea where you combine different artists and you let them kind of do a thing together. Kendrick. So here's what I thought. I thought like I like Kendrick Lamar generally speaking. I think he's probably, I don't know, he's probably the most talented of this new era, but I'm not really an expert on this era of rap. I'm kind of an expert on the old stuff, but I don't really know the new stuff that well, like this generation. But I will say, like, it's my, and you guys are going to clobber me when I say this, but I'm just telling you how I really feel. Like, I don't think that rap really translates in a performance sense very well.
Dude, who just said that on the comment line? Dub City just said that. Rap does not translate live usually. That's a great call.
Dub City, I feel the same way because I mean, I thought Public Enemy was really good live. I thought the Beastie Boys are really good live. But generally speaking, it's like one dude walking back and forth on stage, just rapping and throwing his hands up. Like it's hard to get a lot of mileage out of that for me. So I wasn't blown away. Tony, I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. I was like, all right, I got, you're doing your thing. Samuel Jackson with the top hat on. Serena Williams was doing the Crip walk. Tony, I don't know if that affects you in any way. Serena Williams with the Crip walk.
I don't know.
You get to tell your kids, Mom, Dad, what's she doing? Oh, that's the Crip walk, kids. Yeah, that's what the gangsters do. The Crip walk.
It's just like, and the kids kind of went nuts when Serena went on stage or was on the screen. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's great. I just want some collaboration with musicians. And you're in the city of New Orleans, dude. Like the mecca of musicians. And you had Trombone Shorty, like I said, who was great. Trombone Shorty, if you get a chance to see him, Trombone Shorty and Orleans Avenue, if they come through town, check them out. They're great live. But then why not bring Trombone Shorty out at halftime? Why not bring out the Batiste family at halftime? Why not bring out the Meters? Why not do like, there's so many ways.
Well, the NFL, I can answer that. I know why, because the NFL is going mass appeal. The Meters are way too niche. You mentioned Sturgill Simpson. He's too niche. Like he's a big star, but not big enough. Not big enough for the NFL. The NFL wants like mass appeal.
So can you think of a band that maybe would have like that's current? That's like hip right now. That would be
not really. No,
I know. Same.
Not really.
You know,
I don't know that I can point to one. I mean, I'm racking my brain right now. I'm thinking,
help us out, comment line. Help us out. If there's a band you can think of that would have been good with Kendrick Lamar to do a collaboration or like, I mean, you got Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. They do that Silk Sonic,
but they've already done it. He's already done the Super Bowl. Let me tell you this too. It made it harder for this is gonna. I mean, I'm probably pissing off a lot of people, but I'm just telling you, this is how it was. Just my opinion. Is that it made it harder for me, Tony, kidding aside, is that the halftime show, this is coming like 12 hours after I had just seen the Led Zeppelin documentary on IMAX. Totally. And my jaw was on the fucking ground. Sorry for the F-bomb. No, but it really was.
Swear jar.
It's so the name of this documentary is called Becoming Led Zeppelin, and it's basically about how they met each other and what it was like when those dudes hit the scene at the time that they hit the scene. It's pretty stunning, actually, if you go back in time and try to imagine that. You know, this is the Summer of Love. This is Hippy Dippy, Grateful Dead, Paul Simon, like very gentle kind of. And then all of a sudden these guys come along. Dude, it was overwhelming to watching that movie. And it kind of did leave a shadow when I was watching Kendrick. I'm like,
yeah.
It's tough to get excited about this right now after what I just saw. But Tony, I see that. Listen, the clock is relentless. We're deep in the show now. I think we better get the bookmarks happening and then get your top three so we can let everybody get back to their lunch break and stuff like that.
So a couple just suggestions real quick from the comment line. Daniel Severa, Kings of Leon, NorCal Refrigeration and HVAC, Zach Bryan. I mean, you know, somebody said the Stone Fox is nice. I love that. Dub City says the Stone Fox is.
Don Peralta says Freestone Peaches. They'd be great. They could do an Allman Brothers set easily. Yeah.
And Lily Merchant, The Roots is a great call. She just said Questlove's band. Bring the Roots out there.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Right? The Roots would be amazing. And I could watch them play instruments while Kendrick Lamar also raps. There'd be a ton of talent on stage.
What about Jack White? Is he big enough? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably
I
not.
don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I love Jack White.
Me
and
too.
And you know, if Detroit was in the Super Bowl, maybe they would have done that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I also don't like that they pick it so early. that they say months and months and months ahead of time. But I know that the dancers they have to like plan it all out. They got to make this huge, massive production, which is really impressive.
Well, you don't have to do that. Like you can just set your gear up and play. I mean, the Stones did that. Springsteen did that. Like they just put their gear on stage and play. By the way, did you know this is just another example of you asked me like why somebody like I don't know Sturgill Simpson won't be on the Super. Here's why. I'll give you an example. Here's why. Did you know that Metallica, when the Super Bowl came to Santa Clara and they played down at Levi Stadium, Metallica was passed by. They're a hometown band, for Christ's sake. They're from the Bay, and they couldn't get the Metallica. They couldn't get the halftime show. Metallica arguably might be the biggest band in the entire world.
Well, now that the Super Bowl is back, is at Levi's next year, maybe it's the chance to get Metallica to do halftime.
I would love that. I doubt it's going to happen, though, because their music would upset too many people. It's too heavy and ferocious. Like, it just wouldn't translate. But I know that James Hetfield was effing pissed because he came in studio and sat down with Murph and I, and he was like, fine. He goes, they don't want to book us in the Super Bowl. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a stadium show at Oracle Park the night before the Super Bowl. And I took my son, Tommy. That was a great gig. They played Sanitarium at that gig. It was a good one. All right,
what about Green Day? What about Green Day? Would Green Day be like a...
I think they've done it. Haven't they done it?
I can't remember, but I will say this is what makes Run DMC and Aerosmith so freaking amazing is when they decided to do Walk This Way and collaborate together. It's one of the greatest moments in music history in my life, for me personally, because I really liked Run DMC and I liked Aerosmith. And I'm like, look at this, what they're doing. There was a great music video that went along with it. And then it was the two worlds colliding of hip hop, rap, and rock and roll. I want more of that at halftime. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, probably is too much to ask. Yeah, I don't think we can help you anymore. All right, Creative Tony, give me a Robot Centaur. I was at the Metallica gig too. That was a great show, man. Great show. First time I ever saw a mosh pit on the on center field at Oracle Park because there were some bodies flying in the air. Creative Tony, are we going bookmarks or are we going top three? I'm gonna let you.
Let's go top three.
Tony's top three.
Well, I mean, why not, right?
Tony's top three. One more if you could.
A third time, Paulie.
Yeah. Tony's top three. All right. Nice. Without any prompting, here they come.
I mean, feed the ducks.
Bang, boom. Yeah.
Feed the ducks at halftime if you really want to know. Feed the ducks at halftime.
Yeah.
Okay, so dude, Tony's top three. We'll do a quick run through as we're just like riding this Super Bowl Eagles ass-kicking afterglow.
Well said. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We're riding the ass-kicking afterglow. I like that.
Right. Yeah. Question number one: does this ass-kicking by the Eagles to the Chiefs? Yeah. Does this settle the GOAT debate in your mind, Paulie? Does it put it to rest?
Yes.
Once and for all.
Easily. Yes. And I'll just a couple of reasons why. Again, like, if you want to call this guy the greatest quarterback of all time, which is laughable in my mind as it is,
right?
You can't seriously consider that anymore after he's kind of becoming the LeBron James, like going to tons of championships and winning some and losing some. Because LeBron, I think, has lost more titles than he's won. Mm-hmm. And Mahomes is one away from tie. So he's 3-2 now in 5 Super Bowls. And yes, it's very impressive that he's been to 5 Super Bowls at this early stage of his career. I am impressed. It is. It's impressive. Yeah. However, the losses that he's had, those 2 losses, again, let me give you this stat. Mahomes is now one of 2 quarterbacks in NFL history who have lost multiple Super Bowls by more than 18 points. He is now one of 2. So I don't know how you can seriously say that, especially when you look at his performance yesterday. 2 interceptions, a pick 6, horrible decisions, just flinging the ball. He's always played reckless. He's always been like that. He's got that Brett Favre streak in him where he thinks if he just lobs the ball downfield, one of his receivers is going to go make a play. Not yesterday. Not even close. And the Bucs shut his ass down a few years ago, and Philly kicked his ass up and down the field all day. I think there's no more GOAT talk. Not unless he comes back and wins a couple more, then we can maybe talk about it. But at this point, God, no, he's not the best ever.
I don't think that's happening, dude. I don't think that's happening. I feel like their run might be.
It might be over.
It might be over. It might be over. And
Yep.
there's no dynasty. There's no three-peat. God, thank God.
Again, Tony, the look on his face, on Mahomes' face after the game, or the look on Kelsey's face sitting on the bench, just looking like, what just happened? I know what happened. That's you guys just got your asses handed to you.
Dude,
that's what happened.
Dude, it's basically John what's his name from Revenge of the Nerds. You just got your asses whipped.
Good enunciation. Yes.
Right?
Whipped. Yeah.
Whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds.
Yeah.
But John, come on, John. Why am I blanking on John
Goodman?
John Goodman. Thank you.
Can I give you this one real quick too? You know, when you're
a baby in your crib,
when you were a baby in your crib, and your dad looked down upon you, he said, "I have but one wish: my son grow up to be a man." Dude, you know, when you were a baby in your crib. Dude,
well, the best part too, Paulie. Well, look at you now.
Yeah. And the one kid takes the wig off. He's wearing like a blonde wig. Yeah.
Oh, shout out Stan Gable, dude. Ted McGinley in Nerds is just incredible.
Shout out Booger. Shout out Lamar Luttrell. I mean, Takashi. How deep you want to go? Yeah.
That reminds me, two things. Our friend Joe, Paulie, he sent us something I'm going to add to bookmarks later on this week about Cobra Kai and the actor who played Lamar Luttrell. That's a little tease for later on.
Oh, good.
And then
no, good.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just lost my train of thought. Shoot, we're just talking. Oh, Ted McGinley. Go check out the show Shrinking. Ted McGinley in the show Shrinking. Fantastic. Okay, now we go to number 2 in Tony's top 3.
Well, hold on. You didn't answer the question for me. You said you think the Chief run might be over, but you also agree about
Dude, I'll just give you Montana's stat line for 4 Super Bowls, not 5. 4.
I know.
11 touchdowns, 0 picks, 0 fumbles.
That's all.
Story.
Yeah.
End of story. And we haven't even talked about Brady. So Brady, it's Brady, Montana, and Mahomes. Like,
I agree.
I agree. Slow the F down, everybody.
Thank you, Tony. Yes, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 2, we're going to talk a tiny little bit of Dubs because Robot Centaur did say we need a whole other hour just to talk Dubs talk. He said it right here, right?
I know. Shit. I know. Sorry, you guys. We'll get into it tomorrow because the Warriors are playing. They got a game tonight, so we'll make tomorrow more of a heavy Warriors show because you're right. I don't want to sleep on Saturday night. That was a big deal, T. Go ahead.
Huge deal. Curry with 34. Jimmy Butler's first game in the Dubs uni, 25. Dubs down 24. And they come back and win by, I think, 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Ridiculous turnaround. I turned on the game. They're down 24. I'm like, oh, my God, this is a horrible debut for Butler. And then I just watched it happen, dude. I watched the game change. Curry started bombing threes. Butler getting to the line a ton. It was really fun to watch, man. And it's been so much fun. It was very reminiscent of, back in those wonderful years, Paulie. So I just it's a kind of a broad, vague question, but does that outcome of that game, are you rejuvenated in the Dubs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I really am. I know it's only one game, but it was so much better than I could have hoped for. Jimmy Butler made like an immediate impact. He scored 25 points. First game, and boom, here's 25. And like you said, Steph Curry, he went off in the second half of that game. And yes, I am rejuvenated. And now I'm like very eager to watch this thing grow because that was only one game. Let's let this thing kind of get into some kind of rhythm. And yeah, man. Yeah. How about yourself?
Good.
Did you feel like the spark was reignited?
Yes.
Yeah.
I highly urge anybody to go back and find that game and just watch some of the moments of how much fun Steph was having. He was having so much fun in that game. And it wasn't just from Butler, it was from everybody else contributing. Pajemski also. Yeah. And dude, Kuminga supposed to come back after the All-Star break. There could be, and again, there are only 6 games out of 4th place, dude.
A lot of ball left. Haven't even hit the All-Star break yet. A lot of ball left.
Right. So it's just please, Butler. Let's just stay cool. Right? Like Jagger at Altamont. Everybody be cool. Come on. Right?
Brothers and sisters. What are we doing over here? Yeah. Everybody be cool now. Come on. Yeah.
So Butler
Tony, how about this one? Yeah. Who's fighting and what for? Who's fighting and what for? All right. Anyway.
Best. Yeah. Or like we said with Damon Bruce, take a page out of John Mayer's book and just He's entering the scene and respecting the scene. Respect the scene that you're entering, Jimmy, and Saturday looked like you did. And on the flip side, they were very excited to have Butler. So it's kind of like a very good vibe to start the Dubs. Number 3.
Yes.
Final question for Tony's top 3 before we end the show with some bookmarks.
Okay.
Number 3. I was gonna ask you about hot tubs, but we'll do that for another day. Because I was at a party, like the Super Bowl party at hot tubs, but we'll
shout
talk
out
about
Eddie shout out Eddie Murphy doing James Brown celebrity hot tub. I'm gonna get in a hot tub, and he's got the robe on and stuff. Do you remember the
cheesecake?
Yeah. Celebrity hot tub, okay, with James Brown, Eddie Murphy. Going to get into the hot tub. All right, go ahead, man.
Well, it's like, and dude, shout out the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. If you haven't seen it, go back.
You've been preaching that one for years. Yeah,
it's a great movie. Maybe twist one up. It's just phenomenal. So we'll do hot tubs the same day we wear our robes. We'll talk hot tubs.
Well, tomorrow's a Roby Tuesday, I think, is the calendar. Yeah. Remind me, I got to have my robe on hand tomorrow.
Roby Tuesday, 11 a.m. tomorrow, by the way. And also Mark Canizaro of the New York Post joining us for more Super Bowl recap. But number 3 for the Tony's top 3, I'm going to say, Paulie, everybody was asking for it at the beginning of the show. I asked for it yesterday. I want it. They want it. Give us more detail. Give us more review of the Zeppelin movie that you saw on Saturday.
Happy to do that. Yeah. So I went down to, first of all, I went to a theater I've never been to before. I guess it's a Metreon down there in Daly City. They got an IMAX screen. So I drove down there, and my buddy Drutzy had the tickets. And if you like Led Zeppelin, you're going to be blown away by this thing. If I had like one thing that was negative to say, it would be this, that it takes you up until they've done their second album. So you get Led Zeppelin 1, you get Led Zeppelin 2, and then the movie ends. So I feel like, dude, you got to keep going, because here comes, I want Zeppelin 3, Zeppelin 4, I want Physical Graffiti, give me Houses of the Holy, I want all that stuff, but you can see the growth. Like I said, if you like or just appreciate Led Zeppelin, or you're curious, like, what is this Led Zeppelin I'm always hearing about? Go see this movie. It'll all be put into in perspective for you. Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones. You know what's crazy, dude? They're all interviewed present day, and then they play tapes of John Bonham talking, and they'll show. Yeah, cause they say at the beginning of the movie, John Bonham granted very, very few interviews, but we happen to have one that's never been heard before. So that I think was like right before he passed away.
Yeah.
So they start playing John Bonham sound of him answering questions, and they show Robert Plant listening to Bonham. It's pretty powerful. And Jimmy Page sitting there with this look in his eye when he hears his friend talking on tape, who's no longer here. But no, watching the footage of them playing, how it all happened. I'll leave you with this last thing, and it's outstanding. Becoming Led Zeppelin, I highly recommend it. Yeah. The song Ramble On, right? Mm-hmm. The opening lines of that song are, leaves are falling all around. And he goes, time I was on my way. So somebody asked him, they go, Robert, what's Ramble On about? And he goes, that's the story of my life. He goes, because he left home when he was like 16. Wow. His parents were like, you're out of control. You're a hippie freak. You're going to pro marijuana rallies. They show Robert Plant, dude, walking around London with a legalized pot sign.
Oh my God.
Incredible. Incredible.
Wow. So hey, Paulie, does this thing, maybe they might have a part 2 down the road with?
I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. We were speculating immediately. We're like, I hope there's a follow-up to this, because there's so much to get to. But anyway, he talks about Ramble On being, that's the story of his youth. Nice. That he was homeless. He was living in parks and sleeping in cars. Wow. And then he met John Bonham and Jimmy Page, and boom, next thing you know, they're the biggest band in the world. So yes,
unbelievable.
Go see Becoming Led Zeppelin. Tony, couple bookmarks. We'll get the hell out of here. Ryan Frank, thank you, kid, very much. Thank you.
Ryan Frank, thank you. And for those who just joined the show, Ryan Frank donated to the show, to the kitty. You can do that. We now take super, as they're called, on YouTube.
Shout out Bruce Springsteen. Kitty's back. Tony, go ahead.
Kitty's back. Yes, good call, man. Good call. But thank you, Ryan Frank. We much appreciate it.
Well, shout out Steven Tyler. Again, sorry to interrupt, but shout out Steven Tyler. Walk this way. Hey, diddle, put your kitty in the middle. Tony, go ahead.
Also, I have to give love to the HVAC, our buddy HVAC. What is it? Isn't it NorCal Refrigeration HVAC?
Yeah.
We were talking Hot Tub Time Machine. He brought up Hot Dog the movie, dude. Do you remember I don't know if you ever saw Hot Dog the movie, Paulie, but Hot Dog.
I've seen it. What with the ski guy, the skiing
yes.
instructor? Yeah.
Dude.
Shannon Tweed, I think, is in that one. Yeah.
Shannon Tweed is a great call, dude.
Mrs. Gene Simmons, don't you know? Mrs. Gene Simmons. Yeah.
Mrs. Gene Simmons, and that's filmed in Tahoe.
You're damn right it is.
Yes.
Shout out Hot Dog the movie. I've seen
it. Hot Dog the movie.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch that. But hang on.
While you're making a double feature, you know what? You watch Hot Dog the movie, and then you back it up with another kind of forgotten gem from the 80s. Tony, can I interest you in a Hard Bodies?
Oh, dude.
Hard
Come on.
Bodies.
Come
Hard
on.
Bodies. Yeah.
Come on.
Hard Bodies.
Dude,
Okay.
please. All
right,
right,
anyway.
Stand by.
It's time
Sure, go ahead, laugh if you want to.
for bookmarks,
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddies.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
I'm sorry, man. Bookman makes me laugh every single time, dude.
Dub City, hello, kitties. I'm with you. And by the way, Tony, real quick, Winks, our main man, Winks says yes. They're rumored to be a sequel to the Led Zeppelin movie, which makes sense, Tony, because you kind of get blue balls. They end you at Zeppelin 2. You're like, oh, what about Houses of the Holy? You know what I mean? We're Stairway to Heaven. Anyway, so a lot of ground to cover. Tony, sorry to interrupt. You go ahead.
Real quick, before we get to bookmarks, I want to give love to senior softball games because he's talking about our friend and colleague Jake Jolly, Paulie. Yeah. Jake Jolly is the guy who does the music. He's one of the producers for Fox
Get him
Sports.
on the show. We should get Jake.
We will get him on the show. He was on Paulie's podcast a couple times.
Good dude.
Great dude.
He played Throwing Stones yesterday. I heard some Grateful Dead.
Dude, and he threw some Mother Hips in there too. And he threw some King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in there too.
Shut up. Did he really? Wow.
Yes. We got to get Jake Jolly on. So great call. Senior softball games. Don Peralta's on it too. Yes. It makes the viewing experience much more enjoyable when you know you're going to get some great tunes as well. How about the tunes?
Yeah. Kid stuff. Come on. Come on. Give me the bookmarks. Yeah. Don't tell me you've forgotten the magnitude of Robin Zander, the charisma of Rick Nielsen. Come on.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm just gonna I'm gonna share the screen and we're just gonna kind of scroll. This is gonna be more of a loose bookmarks. KP.
Loose Lucy, yeah.
Okay, so Eagles fans removed traffic light poles, smashed it up, and carried across the Market Street in front of City Hall.
They're animals. They're animals. I don't know what the point of that is. Look at these guys stomping on it like it's a living creature. That's Philly. That's how they celebrate in Philly. There you go. You knew it was going to happen.
I got to give love to my friend. Oh, that's us. I got to give my friend. I got to give my friend to Bob Wentz and Antonio Velez, the Eagles fans that are classy dudes. Okay, they're not all like those guys. This is a good one too, Paulie.
All right, open it up.
Nick Foles, you see this? See this? I got to do it. Yeah, Nick Foles. It's really cool that Tom Brady got to be there for the Eagles' 2 Super Bowl wins. He might be a good luck charm.
By the way, can I just say, dude, I'm not. I would listen. I like Tom Brady on the football field. I really did. I'm not crazy about him on the mic.
He's got kind of a deer in the headlights
look
at
at
times,
crazy about him on the mic. And you know what it is, dude? This whole thing, he's like a first name basis with Mahomes. Oh, Patrick is having a hard day. Oh, Patrick needs to make better decisions. Patrick got caught in the pass rush that time. You know, Patrick really, dude, cut the shit with this first name Patrick nonsense. He's not my buddy. He ain't my buddy. So still call him Mahomes.
Did he give you a red area again instead of red zone?
I don't. You know what? Great question. I didn't. If he did, it went past me. Thank God. I didn't notice. But no. You know what? Good for Big Blank Nick trolling Brady.
Great.
Good for you.
Here we go. Now this is. I think you put this up here, Pete.
I did. I threw it in this morning. Open this. This is real footage. Rewind this. This is people. Eagle fans on horseback. I don't know where they came from, but they're marching through the city. These are
Eagle
not
fans
cops.
on horseback through downtown Philadelphia.
They're not cops, Tony. These are just Eagle fans. Yeah, show it again.
Here we go. Stand by. Sorry, bud.
No, look at these people. Cowboy hats. Look at this.
What?
I don't know. I don't know where they're coming from. Look at that fat bag.
Oh man, that is as random as it gets, dude.
It really is. A bunch of horses got let out of the stable for the celebration. It's crazy.
Oh, here, I put this one up here for you, Paulie.
I haven't seen this yet.
Are burning Kermit in the streets. Okay.
Open it up. Burning Kermit. I love
Burning Kermit the Frog.
There's fireworks going on. Oh, it's a nice church back there too.
Dude, what a scene, man.
Hey, they're having a good time.
What a scene.
Hey,
Eagles
just so long
fans
as
burning Kermit. That's the best.
just as long as nobody gets hurt, I'm fine with all of it. Have a good time.
Oh, dude, and then here a couple more. This
Okay.
is Cooper DeJean. This is the DB with the pick six.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Wow, dude, nice
Look at this.
air. Look at this.
So, dude, this is high school basketball footage of him, or is this college? Hang on, is this?
First of all, yeah. Show me this kid
It
again.
says Cooper had a pick six in the Super Bowl, but had a first love of basketball in high school. So check this out, B. Watch this footage. It's nuts. Here we go. Oh,
Damn. Oh my God. Dude, Jesus Christ.
is that crazy?
He's not even that tall. It's amazing.
And he is going to throw it down.
Yeah. Good for him. Hey, man. He played his ass off yesterday.
Dude.
That's some impressive footage right there.
I mean,
I'm like probably 5-6 inches taller than this guy. I could never dunk a basketball. I got
No,
no hops whatsoever. Zero.
Actually, speaking of Brady, I saw footage over the weekend where Brady actually dunked a basketball. It's at some event in New Orleans. So I was
well,
like,
you know
okay,
what? I'm not as
47
impressed.
years old though, still dunking. That's pretty sweet.
All right. Oh, what's Steph doing down there?
Okay,
Give me
here we
that
go.
Steph
Now
there.
this is good. This one says the Warriors became champions the last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Just a little some particles, Paulie. If we could ride the coattails of the Eagles with the Eagles particles, the last time the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the Warriors became champions as well. So
I like that, Tony. I like that, buddy. Yeah.
Okay, and then this one, sorry to go from such a great vibe to just a crappy vibe, but here we go, buddy.
Okay.
Last one for you.
What's this?
This is Deebo Samuel congratulating AJ Brown.
Blow that up if you could, team.
After the Eagles Super Bowl win. Here you go. There's no audio. So it's
these are such great buddies. Yeah, we're
love
having
you,
such a great
brother.
time.
Congrats, man. Okay.
Deebo's
All
going
right.
off like a real douchebag right now.
I know.
Dude, you want to tone this shit down? We know you want to be traded. Don't worry. You're going to get your wish.
It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre.
Does he assume he's going to be a Philadelphia Eagle? Hence the jersey, the AJ Brown stuff. Like, does he assume he's going to play for Philly?
Maybe it's his sales pitch. Maybe there's a sales pitch out there. I don't know, man. But I just got to say that it's just bad form by Deebo, I think. And it's no coincidence that Rap Sheet tweets the morning of the Super Bowl that the Niners are gonna it's not for sure because John Lynch says we don't get rid of good players, we don't let good players go. There's a possibility that they're going to shop Deebo around. So
yeah, and I mean it'd be nice to cut that salary loose too. Like let's get rid of that so we can apply that to somebody who actually wants to be a San Francisco 49er. And let me ask you this, my last question of the day, Tony.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this with Larry Krueger last week, but remember when Colin Kaepernick had that ill-advised moment where he put a dolphin hat on, and I think he was in the airport, and he got photographed, and people went crazy. Like, they were so pissed. Oh, my God, Colin Kaepernick's wearing a dolphin helmet. Do you think that this Eagle dalliance thing he's doing is going to generate a similar kind of pushback? Because so far, it seems like Niner fans are kind of quiet on this.
I do think so. And I feel like that I think a lot of people are fed up with
I am. Count me in. Yeah.
And I hate to say because I was a big Deebo fan back in the day.
We all were, bro.
My son has his jersey, but he has jersey 19, not jersey 1, right?
I don't like that either. Switching numbers. Cut the crap.
So I don't know. It's not like the Niners don't have depth at wide receiver either. I mean, they drafted
shout out Juwan Jennings. Yeah, Jennings had a monster year last year too.
And Cowling, and they got Ricky Pearsall too. And then there's talk about Devontae Adams. Like he's interested in coming out west.
Come on out.
Who knows, man?
Come on out. We'll make it happen.
And by the way, Paulie, on the way out, if I can just find this real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to say news out of New York.
Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Rodgers. My only regret there, even though it worked out for the Niners, we got Saleh back. I was pissed that he had his hands in pushing Saleh out the door. Way to go, dick face. Hey,
totally.
Tony, have you seen his numbers in the 2 seasons in New York? I think he had won a total of 6 games in 2 years? Horrible trail of destruction behind your guy, ayahuasca boy.
Dude.
See you later. Yeah, see you later.
You make me think of Symphony of Destruction, buddy.
What are we talking? Megadeth? Hey, by the way, Symphony. Do you guys know Symphony of Destruction?
Symphony of Destruction. Come on.
Give me that again, the riff.
You got to give it up for Dave Mustaine, dude. Like
I got no problem with Mustaine.
No, but also, like, he got a raw deal with Metallica in the early days, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own band, and we're gonna rock. And we're
gonna rock. yeah. Shout out Peace sells, but who's buying? Okay, Tony.
Yeah.
Peace sells, but who's buying? Yeah. All right, Creative Tony, we've done all we can do today. Had a great time. Thank you for all your efforts. Thank you, everybody on the on the comments line as well.
Yes, dude.
Appreciate you guys beyond belief. Tomorrow, Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post. He was in the building. He wrote about Mahomes. Great article. Look that one up today. Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post. We'll talk to him live tomorrow. And in the meantime, on the way out the door, Longbridge Pizza. Longbridge Pizza.
Nice.
Longbridge Pizza. Longbridge Pizza. Longbridge Pizza. That is my new spot. Thank you. Longbridge Pizza. Back live. We probably haven't talked enough about the Vinny's Gabagool. What do you want? The Saporzetta? You want the Capicola, a little prosciutto on there, some provolone, pepperoncinis, great dressing on that sandwich. Also, I'm forgetting the name, Tony. What was the name of the cheesesteak we tried? It didn't go by the name cheesesteak. It
was it was the
I think I wrote it down. Let me see. Let me see. Chopped cheese. Chopped cheese.
I had it right here too. And dude,
Try the chopped cheese. That's their version of a cheesesteak sandwich, and it's outstanding. It's freaking outstanding. Tony, go ahead. What were you gonna say, buddy?
Tomorrow they're doing smash burgers. Tomorrow's their 11th anniversary. Tomorrow they're tapping a keg of Pliny the Younger. They have Pliny the Elder on tap all the time.
Shout out Kiss the Elder too. Kind of an album that was heavily criticized. Kiss the Elder. I own it. I got it on vinyl. Go ahead, Tony. I do. Yeah.
Also All-Star Weekend coming up for the NBA at Chase Center. Longbridge Pizza should be your home away from home while you're going to any of the events at Chase Center. But tomorrow, their 11th anniversary, smash burgers, Pliny the Younger, longbridgepizza.com if you want to order. By the way, I'm so happy that Neil and Andrew are not working today. They're closed on Mondays because they worked their asses off yesterday. They say Super Bowl Sunday is one of their busiest days for takeout. So
I bet.
I'm glad they're getting some rest today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 11th anniversary for Longbridge. We're super stoked for them and just couldn't be happier to be partners with them.
Yeah, well said, Tony. Very well said. And last thing, by the way, if we haven't said this, my bad, but I'll say it now. Longbridge Pizza is very family friendly.
Yes.
You can go on it. You can have birthday parties. They have a beautiful back room where Tony and I have hung out with Neil a few times. So bring the kids, man. You can make a whole day of it over there at Longbridge. And I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed. I would not attach my name to a pizza place if it was subpar. I just wouldn't do it. And these guys are.
That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line, Paulie. Seriously, it comes down to the food. And Neil and Andrew, just great dudes, the Vibe Tribe, laid back vibe, serious pizza. But it goes back to you are a pizza guy, right? And this is legit, delicious pizza, man. So Longbridge Pizza, enjoy it and get out there, man. I'm gonna go buy tomorrow, and I'm having some Pliny the Younger.
It's crossing my mind right now too. I know they're closed today, but I'm like, shit. We got a night show on Wednesday. Maybe I swoop in, swoop back, make it happen when nobody's looking. But Tony, hey, listen, thanks for everything today. Had a great time. Thank you guys on the comments line. We're gonna talk to all y'all tomorrow. Back at 11 a.m. tomorrow. 11 a.m. tomorrow. Polymath Particles, we launch. Tony, go ahead.
Yes, 11 a.m. tomorrow, 8 p.m. Wednesday, 11 a.m. Thursday, high noon Friday. That is the schedule moving forward. 11, 8, 11, noon.
Boom. No questions here, pal.
And also, everybody, thank you for the supers. Thank you for your the financial contributions.
Very much.
To the show. Thank you all very, very much. It's really, we couldn't be. The only thing that's making us happier is that Mahomes is not the GOAT and that they didn't win 3.
I'm so happy. I might go watch the whole game again today. I might just enjoy it again, roll one up and enjoy it. By the way, we did a lot of Herbal Delish yesterday. It was a good time. And Rags is already seeing if Neil has an opening for Rags as a driver delivering pizzas.
Dude.
He says, once I get fired for watching too much Polymath Particles, I'm going to need a new employer. Longbridge Pizza, they'll have something for you, Rags. I promise. You pack a suitcase, we'll make it happen. Creative Tony, I love you. Comments line, I love you. And Mahomes ain't the GOAT. Let that sink in. Enjoy Philly's celebration. It'll be going on all week. The parade is Valentine's Day. We'll see you tomorrow right here, 11 a.m. Polymath Particles. Mark Cannizzaro joins us. We'll break it all down. Talk more Warriors tomorrow as well. Have a great night, everybody. Peace, y'all.
Peace.